I just want to start off this episode by saying I love peanut butter. I feel like, a huge topic of this podcast is food. I don't think I've given peanut butter the shine that it deserves. Now, I want to start off by saying if you are someone that is allergic to peanut butter, I'm so sorry. And I'm scared. I'm not doing it in like a patronizing way. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm sure you live a great life as well. Like, I don't think because you don't eat peanut butter, like, your life isn't complete. I think you can have a more than complete life without peanut butter. But for me personally, I've put peanut butter on such a pedestal that the idea of one day waking up with a peanut butter allergy really scares me. Let me Google really quickly. Peanut butter allergy. Like, is this something that can just come on, like, out of nowhere? Peanut butter allergy. Out of nowhere. I don't even know how to do that. Like, sometimes I feel like I put too much effort into the wording of my Google searches to the point where, like, I've sat there for 5 minutes to, like, write a perfect essay when really all it needed to know was, like, the 4 keywords. Can you suddenly become allergic to peanut butter? A peanut allergy can develop at any age, even in adulthood. Okay, well, I am doing my best to expose my system to as much as possible for as long as possible so that does not happen. I don't know why I felt compelled. Like, for some reason, in the last couple of weeks, I've had a renaissance with peanut butter in all different forms. I love, the peanut butter that when it comes in the jar, it's like half oil at the top and then the peanuts, and then you can still see maybe some remnants of like an actual peanut, and you have to mix it with a knife, and then you risk it all by like licking the knife, which you should probably never do. But don't worry, I don't have actual like sharp knives around me. It's just more like dull, like a butter knife. I actually, to be honest, I hadn't seen like a proper like kitchen knife in person till I had ventured kind of out the house a bit more. Because like, growing up, like we literally just had a butter knife. Like that to me, that's what a knife was. Like if I needed to cut anything, which I don't even think I was allowed to do, like it was a butter knife, which was like not even like a fork was as sharp as the knives that were available to me, which I guess as a kid is kind of what you're supposed to do. But still, like, I hadn't even, like, I thought just, like, fancy chefs had, like, big kitchen knives. I didn't know that was, like, at IKEA, and you could just buy a big kitchen knife. But then I think about it, and I'm like, okay, well, I definitely had, like, watermelon at home, so, like, these knives were somewhere. They must have just been hidden. Anyway, back to peanut butter. I'm a huge fan of, Kraft, Jiffy, Skippy, like whatever, like that brand where it's like probably like 2% peanuts and the rest is like icing sugar. Also a huge fan of the more fancy brands. I would love to try, I believe at Whole Foods, which I just found out Whole Foods is owned by that company, the one that we order everything on the app, that for some reason I've decided we're not naming. I think they just get enough attention. So it's all sort of integrated. I feel like if you zoom out enough, like the same company or the same person like owns everything. Or like the same 3 companies. It's like Facebook, that other one with an A, and then probably another company that I haven't heard of. Also, just to set the scene, I have a decaf coffee because it's a lot later, I'm going to be honest, than I normally record. I normally at least start the recording in the morning. Now, the problem is I've sat in about 4 hours of traffic today, not to brag or to ask for sympathy. Although if you want to give me sympathy, like I'm always, don't let me stop you. But I did not have the time, the resources to record earlier. So it's a brisk 8:08 p.m. It just turned 8:09 p.m. on a Wednesday. I'm sitting drinking a decaf coffee. I just felt like I needed something hot, and with what I have available to me, like I don't have a kettle. I've recently been, okay. I had like 3 teas in the last month, and then that in my head is like, oh, I'm becoming a tea person. No, like you just like, the lazy option was tea in those moments, and today the lazy option was coffee. And I couldn't find a smaller mug, so I have like a huge, like think like, what is that movie? Not Rapunzel. Beauty and the Beast. Did you know how they're like the proper teacup? I have a huge one of those that's about half full, so I won't spill. Probably yes too. And I don't know, I feel like it's adding something, with the handle that's like at an angle. I don't know, it feels like I'm coming at you with a different energy. I'm also in sweatpants, which is extremely exciting for me. Anyone who knows me knows that sweatpants and a hoodie is where I function at the highest. It was a little bit sprinkly today. I feel like I've really like taken a left. I don't really cover the weather anymore. I feel like that was usually like my entry point into kind of topics, because you really do need somewhere to start. I feel like I can always bring it back to, keep us on course, but like you got to start somewhere. Sometimes you start talking about peanut butter, and that leads to one thing leads to another, and sometimes you have to start talking about the weather. Just a reminder. I don't know. I mean, it probably sounds like this podcast is so produced and edited and planned and almost scripted. It's so prepared, but really, I have nary a thought in my brain about how this will go. I have absolutely no idea how the next 24, 25 minutes or so will go. But I'm open to the journey. I really love using like being creative as a means to be lazy. I wish I could have done that more in school, where it's like, no, I didn't procrastinate. I was waiting for the idea to come to me. Duh. It's part of my process. Ever heard of it? But it's really just a deflection for I didn't prepare. But what was I talking about? The weather. I'm not prepared. See, this is the kind of the downside, because this type of thing can happen. But I exist in a hoodie, and it was raining a little bit today. Which, if I'm being completely honest, I've worn this hoodie that I'm wearing. It's the zip-up hoodie. I haven't entered the fall season, which I know we're kind of like 1 foot in fall, 1 foot in summer. Excuse me. Also, I have a couple exciting fall updates. It's like an update. It's like an announcement of like a future update. That would be a fun title. Let me write that down before I forget. Announcement of a future update. I feel like that's like, once they're on like Avengers movie number 112, like they'll use that title. Like once they get through all the good ideas, I'm yours. Announcement of a future update. But before we get to that, this zip-up hoodie I'm wearing, I bought like March, April. I actually think it was March 9th. It was Saturday, March 9th at like 10 p.m. Don't ask how I remember that. But really, that was sort of the start of spring, or it was almost spring. Wait, it was exactly April, May, June, July, August. It was like 6 months and 1 day ago. How exciting. This hoodie is half a year old to me. I don't know how long it was on the shelf, or like what the existence of it was beforehand. But I'm assuming I'm the first person to own it. But I haven't had this hoodie in the fall, so I got to wear it for a couple weeks, and then it got like not hot where you couldn't wear a hoodie, but like it just wasn't hoodie weather anymore. That's the problem. In the climate that I'm in, it's mild enough that like you really can get away with just dressing for whatever season it is. Like it's never going to be like, I mean, like except for like a few days of the year where like it goes really nuts. Like in the summer, like you can dress for summer, and like you might be a little chilly at certain points, but like you'll be fine. And then the same for the winter, unless it's like something crazy happens. Like you can dress like wintry, and like yeah, you might be sweating a little bit at points, but like you'll be fine type thing. So really, once spring early summer pops around, like you can't really wear a hoodie and get away with it, as hard as I try. But I'm just happy to be here, you know, in a hoodie that is so close to being seasonally appropriate. And I just think that that's something to celebrate, as well as peanut butter. I think where I left you on the peanut butter discussion was how I wanted to try, apparently in Whole Foods, which I don't go to, so I wouldn't know this for sure, but they have like peanut butter making machines where it's just like roasted peanuts, and then you click a button and it like grinds the peanuts, and it's like fresh peanut butter. And I would like to try that on a piece of toast. Not like one of those like trendy like Ezekiel bread. What is Ezekiel bread? I always see it at Trader Joe's, and I'm like, who's Ezekiel? Ezekiel bread is created in 9 essential amino acids. Okay, yeah, so like those like fancy breads. I'm sure they're delicious. I'm sure they're good for you. Yada yada yada. I want like regular plain old bread that you get like supermarket brand name, or like not like the brand is a supermarket, not like brand name from the supermarket, you know. Regular plain bread, and I would like to combat the probably like bleach or whatever is in the bread. I would like to get very fancy peanut butter. And you know what I kind of want to try? I want to do, because sometimes I like a sandwich, like open face, I get the argument, like you kind of get like double the food or whatever, but like I like a sandwich, and I sometimes can't decide if I want toasted or not toasted, so I'm really feeling like I should do one piece of the sandwich bread toasted, one piece not toasted, so like a piece of toast and a piece of regular bread, peanut butter on both sides, and then like that would be really good. But like you would have to put the toasted piece south. So it'd be like toasted piece, peanut butter, not toasted piece. And I think we should all try that this weekend for breakfast, and really get creative, because obviously you could do classic peanut butter and jam. Leave it at that. You could add honey in the mix. Now you could add honey as an additive to, so it could be like, it could be 3. It could be peanut butter, jam, and honey. It could be peanut butter, banana, and honey. So basically peanut butter, jam, honey, banana. You could do any combination or all or 3 of those 4. Okay? Now, this is where things get interesting, because I woke up the other day and was like, I need to put toast, peanut butter, pickles, which peanut butter and pickles is a thing. I've had it before. It's delicious. And before you start saying, ew, like, no, peanut butter, you can't put peanut butter and pickles. First of all, have you ever heard of peanut sauce? Like, peanuts are very often used in like in a savory context. I feel like in North America more, it's like a sweet thing. It's like in a dessert, or it's like a flavor of something. But like, no, peanuts can be savory. Peanuts at their essence are salty. You know what I mean? Like it's a salty food. Ooh, also before we get too far, like you also could grill your peanut butter sandwich, peanut butter banana, peanut butter honey, whatever, all 4. Just a quick, like if you have a panini press, the peanut butter gets all nice and melty, especially if you do like a crunchy, like if it starts crunchy and then like you're able to get the liquidy parts of the peanut butter even more liquidy, but then keep the crunch, because obviously like the peanut pieces wouldn't melt. The only problem with that is like the jam, if it's a seeded jam, would have the same effect, where it's like, I feel like emphasizes the seediness of the seeds, which if you're into that, that's like, well, I guess what you're looking for. But if not, you might it might be like feeling like there's almost like something crunchy in your sandwich, which again, different strokes, different folks. But back to this new invention. I want to do, and I'm going to try this by next week, so I will report back. I'm going to do peanut butter, pickle, and then 2 versions of it. So like if I was on Chopped, I would have like a flight. So I might have to think of a third one. But I want to do peanut butter. So the first one could be just classic peanut butter pickle. The second one, I want to do peanut butter pickle and jalapenos. Either pickled or fresh. I do have to be honest and say there is a brand of pickles that I've had my eye on that I've wanted to try that they're jalapeno flavored. So it's like essentially like pickled jalapenos and pickled cucumbers. I don't know. Do people call pickled cucumbers? Anyway, it was literally like a $10 jar of pickles, and that was not that big. But I bought it and it was delicious. Unfortunately, it was delicious. I can never buy it again because I can't, like realistically, I can't do that. Like that's just not feasible. But nor do I want it to be. But it was very good. So I would want to do peanut butter, pickles, and then those jalapenos, and then bear with me, peanut butter, pickles, and like a chili oil, or like a chili crunch. Like a crunchy chili, I feel like that would be really good, just for that extra something. And I feel like that you could do as not like an open face situation. Well, now I'm just hungry. I hope to have tried all of those by the time we meet each other again. And I'm trying to think, I wonder if that would be good as a panini or more so. I feel like no. Yeah, and honestly, I wouldn't even toast the bread on that because I feel like do you know when you toast bread and it becomes like a crummy? I feel like the crumbs would get on the pickles. Like it would, like the liquid, like the sogginess of the pickle would attach to the crumbs, and I feel like I wouldn't like that. I think, well, listen, we can try every avenue here, you know? The world is your pickle. This is starting to sound very like third trimester, so I might leave it there. But just know there is a very interesting food review coming to you very soon. I guess you could fry it in the chili oil. And then just add the crispy crunchies in the sandwich and or open face. There's so many ways you can do this. Moving on. We're on fall watch. How many more episodes till it's actually fall? So this episode... Okay, so we have 2 more episodes. So this episode you're listening to, and then 1 more episode, and then it's officially fall. So we only have this episode and then 1 more where we're kind of in like the half and half of fall and no fall. And I'm happy to say, from my vantage point, Trader Joe's has released most of their fall items or is starting to. So I'm very excited. I'm hoping by next week I will have tried all the pickle options for pickle sandwiches. Ooh, also like a pickle and cheese is pretty good. Regardless, I hope to have also made a trip to Trader Joe's. And hopefully, what I really want, what's on my list, what I have my eye on, okay, let's do this. Which apparently, I just found this out. I don't really listen to podcasts, no offense. Because obviously if you're hearing this, you are someone that listens to podcasts. I love people that listen to podcasts, you know? But I just, for some reason, I'm not one of them, which is funny because I'm in the car a lot. So you think I would be. But regardless, I just found out that Trader Joe's has a podcast. And I did listen to that. So if after this, because here's the thing. As much as I want you to be like, nobody asked for this podcast loyal, like I do have to understand that like I provide you with half an hour, sometimes 40 minutes, at max an hour of content a week. And like as much as I would want that to be enough for you, like it's obviously not. Like we all have lives, we're all doing things, like I get it. You need to listen to other things. So if you are looking to fill that time, you could listen to the Trader Joe's podcast. But the fall items that I kind of have my eye on, the pumpkin bagels, I would love to try that. I've heard mixed reviews, but the thing about me is like, if anything, hearing that something's terrible will make me want to try it more. I don't know what that means for me, kind of like long term, but short term, nothing terrible has happened. It just has resulted in me spending, maybe a bit too much money on like fast food that I knew I probably wasn't going to like. But you live and you learn. I clearly haven't learned yet, but we're living nonetheless. That's most of the job. So I want to buy that. The pumpkin yogurt, obviously, I don't know if that's obvious, but I had it last year, and I would argue I didn't have enough of it last year. So we're gonna get that. They have a fall harvest chili that I believe has some pumpkin puree. We're gonna get that. That'd be perfect for like a lunch. Trader Joe's is perfect for lunch. Like, lunch really is. It's the hardest meal. Like breakfast, you could do a bowl of cereal, and that arguably you could do a bowl of cereal, and like that'll do it. Dinner, I feel like there's more like ordering options, but it's like, am I really gonna, like, I can't order lunch and dinner. But then I could just be eating pickled peanut butter sandwiches forever, but I don't know that that's like recommended per se. So you just go to Trader Joe's. They have salad kits, they have soups, they have like frozen meals. Obviously their frozen gnocchi is perfect. Like you could just, it's very meal oriented. You could go into it for a while. This is how I know I'm sort of maturing a little bit, because for a while Trader Joe's was snacks. It was, what snacks can I get? What this stuffed with this, what dried version of this fruit can I buy? Like it was a lot. I looked at it frivolously, and I don't regret those days. And I still do get a lot of snacks from Trader Joe's, but I've started to look at it more as meals, and I feel like it has been very helpful. So that's my piece of advice. But I want to try, they have a Perfect Bar, which is a separate brand. I always used to think that Trader Joe's was just Trader Joe's stuff. They randomly have like other brands. So there's a couple different pumpkin protein bars that I want to try. Look at me being healthy. Even though I think protein bars are just like candy bars with a little bit of protein, but like I think I'm being healthy. So anyway. What else? I need to know, PSA, what happened to the dried mandarin oranges? Joe, if you could let me know if those are coming back, please, because the Trader Joe's I go to is very like picked over. Like it's not, I don't know if this is all Trader Joe's, but I feel like they'll have something and then I'll be like, oh, you know what? I'll get that next time. And I come back and like, it's not back for another 2 years. So I don't know if it's like a supply chain thing. I guess that would make sense if a lot of their products are from them. But yeah, I'm going to try to find as much fall stuff as I can. Off the top of my head, the pumpkin cream cheese, I'll try that. I tried the Philadelphia brand pumpkin cream cheese before, and that was pretty good. And I think they're both like pumpkin spice, not just regular pumpkin. They have a pumpkin gnocchi. I would like to try that. They have a pumpkin ravioli. I would like to try that. They have a fall harvest salsa. I would like to try that. I recently tried their the corn salsa, whatever that one's called. I would like to try that. What other big ones? I saw that they had pumpkin spice tortilla chips. Some of the stuff, like, here's the thing. I can't be walking out of Trader Joe's having spent $150. Like, that's just not... I personally can't let that happen. So I might have to restrain myself. And the way I do that is I say, like, listen, because I'm really working on it, but I have a problem with, like, limited edition food wherein I go crazy and, like, I want to buy, like, 9 of them. Like, I buy so much eggnog in January because I'm just like, I can't get this for another year. Now, what has helped that is they've started coming out with eggnog in Easter because it's like eggs, get it? Like Easter eggs. So that helps because I know, like, okay, yes, it's going to go in January, but like give it a few months, sometimes 2, sometimes 3, because, Easter's a little bit weird. Can't decide if it wants to be in March or April. I think we need to fix that, but that's a problem for another episode. But knowing that it's coming back has helped. But other things, I'm like, it's November, you're leaving this week, and I'm not going to see you again until August or maybe even the next September. But I'm trying to be better. So, like, a perfect example, the pumpkin spice tortilla chips. I'm like, listen, I could buy tortilla chips in March and just put some pumpkin spice. That's how I get around that. But like pumpkin gnocchi, pumpkin ravioli, like I'm not going to find that otherwise. Also, I don't know if I've had, if I was living this reality last episode and spoke on it, but I've just been adding, I'm on like can number 3 of pumpkin pie filling in like 2 weeks. I've just been adding it to everything. Add it to yogurt, add it to oatmeal, add it to a smoothie. I made a pumpkin, I guess I was going to call it an acai bowl, but like there was no acai, I think it's acai. This past summer, I decided that was going to be my new breakfast, as acai bowls, because it's like eating ice cream for breakfast and it's socially acceptable and people don't look at you weird. But I realized that I was sitting in bed the other day and I thought, you know what? You know what I could have? I could just like freeze some pumpkin puree. So I did this, ready? And I have looked since, and like these recipes do exist. So I didn't create it, but like I thought of this. I came to this on my own, but I was not the first human to do that. It was some parallel thinking, some autumnal parallel thinking. Autumnal parallel thought. See, now that is a contender for the name of the podcast, because I don't remember what the announcement of a future update was. I think I was announcing that I was going to have more fall food reviews in the next episode, but I think we're going to officially change it to autumnal parallel thought. I love the word. I love like the way autumn is spelled. I think it looks fancy. Autumnal parallel thought. Okay. My autumnal parallel thought was, I don't love the title as much. Whatever. I'll worry about it after. I got pumpkin puree. So first, step 1, this is like my version of, do you know those like sheet pan meals where all the influencers are like, you put all the stuff in a sheet pan, bake it, and then your meal's ready to go. It's like that, but for the freezer. So you're going to get your ice cube. You're going to do about, obviously depending on the size, but like maybe 4 to 6 to 8 ice cubes of pumpkin puree, not pumpkin pie filling, just regular pumpkin puree. You're going to do 2 to 4 to 6. So I guess 2 to 6. Go do like 2 to 2, 3 or 4. Coffee, like just like freeze some coffee. A banana or half a banana. I hate when people don't give you the exact recipe, but like I don't remember exactly what I did. I'm like a seasoned cook, even though this is the first time I made it. So I probably won't even be able to do it. And then you're going to go and you're going to get, you could do regular yogurt that you mix some pumpkin spice in, or you can do what I did, which is I got the Chobani flip. I've talked about it before, but I got a pumpkin Chobani flip. I took out the actual yogurt, put that in the ice cubes or the ice tray, and then saved the granola as the topping for my thing. Now, you could also just get regular pumpkin oatmeal. Again, regular oatmeal with some pumpkin pie spice. And then just, do your own granola as a topping. Or if you can find, I have some pumpkin granola as well. You can find that. But freeze all that. You don't have to put the banana in the ice cube thing, obviously. Just like freeze a banana. Now, the reason you're freezing that is it'll make it blend so smooth. So all you have to do is, from what I remember, you just throw all of that into a blender. Your frozen ice cubes, your frozen puree, your frozen banana. Did I do protein powder? I think I did. I think I did some protein powder as well. I don't think I put any liquid. Oh, right, because then you also have the frozen yogurt cubes in there as well. So it's the yogurt, the puree, the banana, the coffee. And then if you wanted some protein powder, you also don't have to do that. Blend that up. It'll blend nice and thick. Obviously, you can add a little bit of liquid if you want it more liquidy, or if it's like too chalky. Pour that in a bowl. Put the topping. Put the from your Chobani flip. Put that on the top. You could also obviously add some. You could add some berries. Like, I don't know if it'll fully work. I also got some coconut whipped cream that was pumpkin spice flavored. You can put that on there. Obviously, you can put a dash of pumpkin spice. You could also put pumpkin spice in the smoothie, but because I think I did, but also I had the pumpkin spice flavor from the pumpkin spice yogurt. I think I should say pumpkin spice more, but it was delightful. I refrained from putting peanut butter because I just don't know that peanut butter and pumpkin would work. But I'm open to doing it in the future. I'll try, but so it's like a pumpkin spice, because with the coffee, it's like a pumpkin spice latte smoothie bowl, which again, I just want to acknowledge, like, I was not the only person to think of this, but I came to the thought on my own. And in case you needed any assurance, I also came to the thought of peanut butter, pickles, jalapenos, and chili oil, but that may exist. I feel like I might have heard about 100% peanut butter and pickles is a thing. I think I might have seen a recipe for jalapenos, but the chili oil was my own addition that, again, maybe people did. Just cover all my bases. I've thought of nothing. I'm not trying to make a dime off of any of this. I'm just trying to exist and eat spoonfuls of peanut butter. Again, any kind. Kraft, Adams. Kraft. I love how they have like Kraft and then they have like Kraft real peanuts. Like what? Like what's in the other one? Like why are you like so happy that like no, this one's actual peanuts. It's like, well, shouldn't they all be peanuts? I mean, they're delicious and I'll still eat them, but like what? Like you're kind of calling yourself out. It's like anytime something gets recalled and then you look at the list and it's like this big brand name is recalled, but then also like the supermarket version was recalled too. So it's like, oh, this is just all coming from the same factory. Like it's not a coincidence that, the Target brand version and the name brand version are like both recalled. It's not like, oh, there happened to be an incident at both factories. No, it's all coming out of the same factory. And again, I know people have thought of this parallel thought. I'm actually looking because I wrote down autumnal parallel thought, and it's looking very parallel to me with like the L and the T and the A. So I think I'm going to go with that title. I'm saying yes. I'm loving it. I guess I'm listing it, but loving it, Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Okay, well, this has been fun. I hope everyone has enjoyed whatever this was. I hope you had some good snack ideas. I hope you're getting excited for our taste test coming up next week. It won't be like I couldn't really do a live taste test like via audio. I feel like you need video for that, and I'm just not open to that, No one needs to see this face. But regardless, I hope everyone has a great last couple of weeks of summer. If you like what you hear, if you like what you heard, if you like what you hear, both, you can go to podcastnobodyaskforthis.podbean.com. On there, you will, you can just listen to all of the episodes straight away, or find links to our Spotify, Apple Podcasts, such and such, Samsung, Google. And yeah, I hope you all are having a great week. Have a great weekend. Do something fallish. Have a pumpkin spice latte. Don't have a pumpkin spice latte. I feel like I'm going to start focusing on like apple flavors next. Not like types of apples, but like the apple flavor, Because we forget it. I go so hard on the pumpkin, then I'm like, wait, there's apple too. Like there's other apple cider. Ooh, apple cider donuts. I hope to try those as well. There's just so much happening. I will see you next week. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.